far I don't see much. I just feel that there is light pouring from my heart into my body, uh, like a fountain.
What color is that light? What does it look like?
So it's just it's just like a golden silverish pink color that it just like shoots up and then wraps my whole body.
So why do you feel that they're showing you that right now? That your heart is pouring that light around your body?
It's it's mm, it's two things. One is like energetically, it's just uh healing, and then another one is about me and how I treat myself, and like the way they're showing it to me. The idea is to go to the core of my heart and then and just shower my whole being with love, and taking in consideration what we were discussing before. It's about, at the end of the day, it's about a new start, and no matter what has happened, showering ourselves with love. And sometimes it's just as simple as that, a practice.
So I know that sometimes higher self, that you relay information in simplicity, on that. I don't know if it satisfies the mind or if it doesn't satisfy the soul or just the understanding, but sometimes we would like more depth to the understanding of how you explain things. What can you help us understand about that? Why do you give it to us in a simple way? And how do we build upon it to grow that relationship with you?
So, sorry. I'm just, I'm just surrounded by love right now, and it's like want to be happy and giggle.
Okay, we'll come back to that question. That
No,
question.
the information is there, but it's like,
Okay.
um, so um, the idea is that you can choose something different. You can step out of all of the shadow and trauma by choosing love, by focusing on love, by thinking about love. Like the mind doesn't always need to understand everything, and um, maybe a way of uh, going forward is not through the mind, and it's through the heart, and it's by feeling and being and then connecting to that, um, and somehow can be a shortcut. Feels like a shortcut.
Can we ask today, higher self, that,
So,
oh,
I,
go ahead. Sorry.
so all like this right now, I'm enjoying and unpacking everything, and the thing is like the higher self is always with me and always giving me bits and pieces and clues and things that I'm putting together right now. Um, oh, I felt that information now. Sorry. Yes. No, the idea right now it's around connecting to all of that love, the joy, the giggles, the compassion. Like whatever has happened, it is yes, rock bottom. The 111 millionth dark night of the soul. Things that can be perceived as mistakes, but sometimes like it is simple as having compassion, surrounding them with love, and the more you do it for yourself, the more you can do it for the world outside, and the more you transform everything through love and through heart. And I know I wanted the image. I wanted something clear, and I'm getting energetic this energetic image. I am surrounded by love. It's like beautiful pink, golden, silvery light, and I am so happy, and I just love everything right now. I love myself. I love the world, and 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 I know that I can come back to this
Mhm.
because this is somehow what quantum healing can be. Is choosing and attuning to a different frequency, and the mind goes linear, wants to understand, wants to dissect everything and putting into boxes and say that 1 + 1 = 2, and the way of the heart, the quantum world, how the universe is, somehow doesn't work like that.
Yeah. And I want to have honor and gratitude for the mind, because the mind's beautiful in the way that it can organize all the sensory inputs it's getting. So, but when it comes to spirituality, the message we keep on getting over and over is that it's not the mind's job to navigate spirituality. It's all those other sensories that we're given's job to navigate walking our path. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes. And even now in this state, my mind is happy. Like my whole body is happy. My whole being is happy. All of the bodies and layers are happy. And I know it can sound funny when you go from one extreme to the other. It might sound um, like a cliche, but it's so real. And I was listening about something. I always knew we're meant, and my mind was trying to always understand how can I get from doing to being. And now I'm just being shown this, and I just I'm feeling all of the love and the happiness and the joyfulness and the giggles, and I just see the universe as well. Just have this image right now of the universe and think we are the universe,
Mhm.
and in our love, in our heart, we are the universe. And somehow I was expecting that my higher self would be would be upset with me, but it's not like that. And
Yeah, that was one of your questions. Is the higher self upset?
yeah.
So what's your answer? It's no.
No.
Okay.
And no, and it's still very poetic, everything. No, what can I do? No, it's so it's just amazing. And no,
And
I cannot. I want like clear pictures and guidance and telling what I'm giving this, and it's so beautiful. I cannot say anything. That like just thank you. I love you too.
there. I love that. Yes.
This is the most joyful BQA session I ever had.
Really? I
Yeah,
love
like
that.
I'm giggling and I'm smiling.
I know, but one of your questions is about depression. Can
Yeah.
I ask a question about depression? Like you're right here in this place and I'm concerned that if I go there, we're going to take that away from you. So, do we want to move on to
No, it's
different
okay.
questions right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe they're lightening the mood to have this conversation. So what can your higher self and what can they show you about the depression you've been feeling and the loops that your brain gets into during those times? Like what do they want you to know about that?
It's radical self-love somehow is what they're saying to me. Mm.
Is depression the absence of radical self-love or is depression that's the cure for depression?
It's so interesting just once we started talking about this, and I just felt like there is a cloud coming over, but it's getting cleared. Um, and the idea is that mm, it's a combination between knowing yourself to the greatest depths and like the darkest corners of your being and loving those and using them as fuel for life.
And how do you
Like
use it as fuel? Like expand on that.
it's about seeing it, acknowledging, accepting it, thank it, and let it go. Knowing that you can be all of these as well, and and alchemizing it, having gratitude for life, and making every day a new start.
So when you're
Also, they're reminding me not to go into the victim child mode. It's
mm,
about it's about observing it. Like it keeps coming up to be alchemized right now. Feels like it's like my final game. Like you never know, of course, but it's like just stepping more into the observer mode because this is the only way to alchemize them. And it feels like, but I don't know. Like I have this. change that. It's about there is two layers to it. One is from family. One is actually three layers. Family. One is my soul wanted to experience all of these sensations and alchemize them, and also feels that at the same time is part of the whole um the whole sentient collective game. Like the more one person does that, it helps the other people around it. So it's a combination of all this what I'm getting right now.
So you're helping like purge the depression for the collective of humanity.
Like as as much as many other souls are doing, this a part of it. No, doing my part.
So is there any part of this that the higher self can help us go in and clear and alchemize? Like, I understand if it's her soul's choice, like that's might be a more conscious decision that's just to do in her day to day. But is there any way we can help with the family lineage and that trauma or the collective to release what no longer serves her?
So it seems that my higher self is very strong Mhm. um, in adopting observation and appreciation. Is having a very conscious experience.
Okay, so the higher self said that
It's
you,
like a reset.
okay,
Yeah,
that you need to consciously observe and be the one to alchemize all that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, and also it matches, I think, with something you we discussed in other sessions that your higher self was suggesting. Or it's like discipline. Like if you one thing you have to do is like just be serious about. You can do it. Like stop playing around. It's like just like focus, be the observer, go to the core. Like and this is it's a clearing um because and it's grounding. It is grounding with life, grounding with every moment, grounding with what is life in simple way, like just alchemizing and being being stripped to the core where you learn to appreciate every breath every moment, and from there you build up into a more authentic pure version of yourself, uh, behind all of those layers of what life should be, what I want, what is glamorous, what I think is cool, what I thought other people being cool. Like just having that rawness and authenticity in life. And that is true mastery and that is true power. And building from that would it's a rebuilding. You're mentioning about the Lego. It's about being rebuilt like in a whole form. Like not pieces that are put together from family, from the mind, from the ego, from everything that I see and all the things that I experience. No, it's about being to the present moment in deep gratitude and connection. And the process might be a little bit hard and dark, but in the end, as it was shown at the beginning, you have only love remaining and giggles. So it's worth it.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
like
we were,
we have fun. Like it's life is fun, it's joyous, but there's also like like there. I'm being shown like the two like sides. It's about love and joyfulness, and also about being grounded and serious and focused. And it's about playing and merging those two. So you can make it the next session around like feminine and masculine, also balancing those sides. The love and joyful part with the focused and driven part, and yeah, something like that.
it's beautiful. I mean, we were talking about earlier about um feeling like there's no middle way anymore. Like you can't have your leg in both lanes, like not making a decision as to where you are. So what can you expand on or tell us more about where we're at in these times with it not being the middle way anymore? Are we wrong? Are we correct? Like what can you expand upon that?
No, it's very clear. It's 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 a rebuilding from the core in purity, and like you just need to have and be mm, impeccable in all of the layers, physical, mental, everything. And yeah, it's, it just feels like there's no turning back. It's like either you are what you are meant to be and you accept it and you go through the process, being an observer, feeling it, making decisions that are aligned, and not playing around. Um, it's it's telling me very clearly to stop having tensions, mm, as well.
Stop having tantrums. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Hmm.
We don't want to.
Yes.
I won't do it.
It's too
Uh-huh.
hard. Why me?
No, I mean, I hear you. Okay, so what about, I think I've had certain people in my life that I've observed that they are the types to feel like they're making a decision but not making a decision. So they're given information of what, and they are at a point that they need to make a decision, but they feel like by avoiding making a decision that somehow they're avoiding the choice and they're skirting the system. What can you tell us about like this turning point for those who know that decision's in front of them, but they figure if they avoid the decision long enough, like the decision will just be made for them, and then they'll be upset about the decision that's made for them. What can you tell us about that?
So it's like when you have the rock pulled from your feet, like if and then that's the sensation when you don't make a decision. And yeah, It's not nice. It hurts. And so seems like this will happen until you do. And seems to be like a combination between soul contracts as well. Regarding like attempts. Uh, so like what it
So I think that some people are no understand that we're at this fork in the road between the third dimension and the fifth dimension breaking off. And I think some people feel like if they just continue raising their vibration and just kind of skirting along that and not really consciously doing some of the working on some of the triggers or releases that they and not consciously making a decision where they want to go, that they I think some people feel like they're just going to make it into the fifth dimension. And I feel like if there's no middle ground anymore, what message can you give for them about where they're at and how they can become empowered as a conscious creator?
number one comes compassion. Com- Compassion for where you are and everything you have done. And then is trust. Trust the process, trust their choice. And in combination with compassion, just give it another go, try another time. No, and as long as you are alive, there's still something that you can do. We are quantum beings, and everything can change at any point in time. And by the simple fact that you're questioning it and pondering on it, it's a sign that you're not on the path. And I think I know it's clear that you cannot duck what needs to be seen. Like there's is yeah you there's no way you can avoid what needs to be seen. So
Do you have
that's
to
only the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Is
don't
the
take things so seriously. Still,
Right. I get
yeah.
it. I get it. I'm just trying to help with the
Yeah.
collective, but I think is the f- is going into the fifth dimension, do you have to make a conscious decision that you're stepping into that?
No,
Okay.
for sure, no. Uh, uh, there are different ways, there are different paths. Some people can do that in a very natural way by just raising their frequency without doing an session course and knowing everything. And the more like they have a very intuitive knowledge, and as time progresses they'll probably find out more about themselves, but things come very natural. It's not as like in, it's not as much of like education as we can have it in a spiritual, let's say spiritual world. um so not everybody needs to have a conscious choice, but and then there's also the choice where you do the work. You see what's in front of you and you do it. and work for it. And as as long as there's a will, there's no way you can fail at it. Like, you know, you are on this path. You know everything that you know, and and probably if you're listening to this, it's you already know a lot of things already. And trust the process. Ask for help. Like there's always, ask for help from God, angel, guides, and there's always something. And I think both of us um can testify that that even in the darkest or the worst moments, that something comes up. There is a hand given, either through a person, through a thing, through an experience. There's always something that comes. Um, it's also important the free will. Um, and now the word comes to my mind, being impeccable with your thoughts. Like if you wanna evolve in a sense, focus on that. Like again, ask for help. Like trust the process. Trust God. Trust yourself. Don't don't let the mind or the ego convince you something different. Okay? Like, don't abandon sheep right now. It's almost there. Like, you have the free will, and don't get tricked by sometimes the storm. It's it's going to get there. Trust, because in the end, when we're talking about the fifth dimension, we are talking about a way of being, a way where there are no more layers between what we are and what we think and what is in our environment. So if you don't focus your thoughts, if you don't become the observer, if you don't alchemize everything that shows up for yourself, then it's going to be harder, or that's the only way you can, let's say, fail, if you know if that is a possibility for your soul with free will. Does this make sense? Does this answer the question?
Absolutely. And I just want to say thank you so much, higher self, for really giving us more depth today in the channeling and really building on the relationship. The channeling is just beautiful, and I really appreciate this higher perspective information. But I think one of the main purposes and a good purpose that we did this session today is because just wondering about soul purpose. Like Maja like had a lot of questions around her soul purpose and just wants more definitive, more clear answers as to guidance. What can you provide us for her?
Like, this question makes us smile somehow. As in, like, somebody smiles when a kid is like, and when the kid is making, I don't know, like, there's like a lot of noise. Again, like tantrums somehow. Mm, like what they're showing me right now is the idea is the main takeaway is to focus on being. Everything that we discussed until now, we're talking about a session about a different way of being. And when you come to that 0 point, you have the whole universe in front of you at your fingertips. This process is not about the mind.
So once she aligns and focuses on just being and has really mastered that skill, will then she be able to create any reality that she wants?
The information will come.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's about mastery of the frequency,
Okay.
mastering the mind.
So if the information isn't coming, then that shows she's still on the path of focusing on that mastery. She's still in the lesson if that information isn't coming.
Yeah,
What
yes.
advice do you have to give her if she becomes impatient and wants to the information to come more quick?
Yeah. My higher self is having fun with me. Okay. Fine. Uh, like it's just like it's like you have soul readings, you did that profile and that profile, and have all this information. So what does it serve if you're not aligned in every present moment? If you don't trust that what is in your life is what you're meant to have. What does it matter if you are a master if you don't master yourself? If you know that, like, you have to be it. Yes, because that will feed the ego, and then the ego will show like tantrums, and that's not spiritual maturity. That is not where we are heading.
Hmm.
Mm, our lesson in the master is in that. And it's not all this easy, it's not all this pretty, not all these flowers and butterflies. But a master is a master. Like it's not playing around. Like if she wants mastery, then she needs to practice mastery. Mm, okay.
I was wondering, I'm like, how does she feel about that? No, I mean, I feel like we're all in the final exam right now. And it's not what Hollywood has portrayed as spirituality looks like. It's really what I guess what the monks or whatever display like is spirituality is, or like it's true focus and dedication and just, if we truly want to move forward and to grow in our ascension, this is the time where we all need to, yes, have balance about joy and love, but also have focus and healthy patterns in place, healthy conscious like patterns, I guess, of how we are going to master these things we came to master so we can go have fun.
Yeah. And it shouldn't, it shouldn't be seen as a, like a hard road or a hard path or even like a hard thing just to practice all these things. The idea is that, and and the ego is not an enemy. It's just a part of us that we play, and by doing all of this, we just learn how to be together and be in our level of mastery. And it doesn't mean it's not easy or it cannot be fun or playful. But don't like there's not to confuse this with uh avoidance, right? Because we're talking about that um when you give in like, this is too hard, maybe I should play, maybe I should avoid, and this is where you go off track. And if you become an observer of the state, you realize that they're not coming from the heart, they're not coming from the alignment. It's where your mind slips away, or ego slips away. And again, this is it's taking you away from your core. And the idea is like, how do you play with the how do you align all these parts of you, mind, body, ego, soul, to be one unified being, ready to stand in the mastery and be part of the new earth that needs to come.
So beautiful. I feel like today your higher self has taken us to church and we heard the gospel, and I think it's beautiful. And I think this really shows that through quantum healing sessions, like we can really ask for a higher connection when you're ready to say you're ready for it. I think it's all about in life, like finally standing up and saying yes to the universe. And I feel like today we said yes to the connection between the higher self. And is there any other information your higher self wants to let us know about that, or anything that can be helpful to us?
um, yeah, so the last part seemed a little bit harsh or very serious. And um, was this a message that needed to be heard and felt? But at the end of the day, uh, let's not forget the heart. Let's not forget the joy. Let's not forget the beauty of the life, of the pain, of the suffering, of the relationship between people, and all of the experiences we're having. And and maybe as a practice to remember to smile with your heart. Yeah. I think this is the first time I'm really getting it, how it is
Mhm.
to smile to life with your heart. And and this is how the masculine and the feminine part come together in one person, merging the love, compassion, and joy with um, the groundness, the presence, the focus, with that 0 point where you do what you need to do, or what you know you have to do into being that being that you are. So that's
That's beautiful. And question about that. I know it's a little more specific, but I'm not going to use the name or anything like that. But why do some people choose a life of suffering and then exit this earth?
just saying that a life is a dance, and as beautiful as it is, we shouldn't judge it,
Hmm.
because behind all of it is a lot of love.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, people like it just a lot, they do it out of a lot of love. And we can also what I'm getting is that the learning is again coming back to the observer state, also the suffering and alchemizing it. It's not needed. And in the future, um, and we need to respect every soul's decision and just see it as an act of love, everything.
Yeah. Well, can we just ask for whatever healing they can assist with and honor and gratitude for all those that had a life of service contract, a contract to come here on this earth and to have an act of love through suffering and just really honor their lives and just, I mean, I'm really thinking of my mom specifically, as well as, of course, everyone, but that's to just give them the love and the gratitude back and say, we see you, we honor, we respect your life, and we have used it as a learning tool, and we are honoring that lesson. And we are all making different choices to be more empowered in the type of love that we offer this world. So if you guys can help send that message through all the galaxies everywhere,
Thank
far and wide, we would appreciate that.
you.
Thank you so much for these messages today. We love you guys so much. We love your higher self and anyone who helped in these messages.
And I know another thing that came to me because I also thought about my mom was
Mhm.
as a practice. Like what each time I think about it, or why don't I dance? Like literally just dance a song to honor
Mm.
it. Yeah.
Okay. We're getting our dancing shoes on.
Yeah. Mm.
That's beautiful. Well, we're just going to close out this session now if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, I just wanna thank you for this beautiful session and also for the conversation we had before, and because the whole healing journey starts from the beginning. We have the conversation and it ends up the actual decree session. So just like all of us together wanted to thank you for your gift.
Well, I love you
Mm.
and thank you for being here on this journey. And you know me, I would record every conversation we had if I could to share it with the world because I love just talking with you.
Thank you.